Hello everybody, welcome to the Truth Seekers channel. Today I want to make a video about the movie I saw once upon a time in Hollywood from director Quentin Tarantino, also written by Quentin Tarantino. I think it was a good movie, entertaining, only the story was very fictional, especially the Roman Polanski guy that you saw in the movie. He was convicted criminal. He escaped and he's living in Europe, I think in France or somewhere. He did really dirty and wicked things. You should look it up. And you also have this Sharon Tate person. The Eye of the Devil was a mystery horror film directed by J. Lee Thompson. And Sharon Tate, she played a witch. She had been invited to advise on witchcraft aspects of the film, none of which was used in the film, so-called, which probably contributed to the film's black and white vagueness. I think the invite was just a publicity stunt by the makers. However, I did get to meet some interesting characters, including Sharon Tate, Roman Polanski, and a couple other people. This is the woman, and this is, I think, her husband, the witch master, and this is Sharon Tate. You see they are doing spells with her in the circle with pentagrams, all kind of strange witchcraft things. dailymail.co.uk is a big newspaper. It says Roman Polanski refused to sleep with her once she got pregnant and wanted her to get an abortion. So why would that be? Something strange is going on. Stopped sleeping with his wife and demanded an abortion. And yeah, Polanski was like a bit of a control freak. He was even pointedly cruel to her in front of others at times, calling her a dumb hag. So Polanski was taking drugs, making weird videos, and when Tate refused an abortion, Polanski went back to London and had an affair with another woman. And the author suspects that Charles Manson was paid by a British satanic cult to target Tate. So one conspiracy theory is that she was targeted, and the Manson family, that's like a criminal organization. I think a hitman, a kind of hitman club, and they assassinated Sharon Tate. Also, the movie Rosemary's Baby, that was made just before Sharon Tate died. It was about the devil and a woman called Rosemary giving birth to the Antichrist. Actor husband having mated her with Satan in exchange for a Broadway hit. This was the most cursed movie ever. A lot of people died and got killed strange manner, in strange ways. The first unlucky soul was Comida. Details of his death are still scarce, but Polanski told it this way. In autumn of 1968, when the 37-year-old Comida was roughhousing at a party, when he fell off a rocky escarpment and into a 4-month coma. The very same affliction LaVeyan's witches used to kill Rosemary's suspicious friend in the book. Comida never regained consciousness and died in Poland the following year. First role was that of a witch in the British occult horror film Eye of the Devil. The movie tells the story of a young couple hoping to restore a vineyard to its former glory. Tate's character convinces the couple that grapevines will only respond to blood sacrifice. To make Eye of the Devil more realistic, the filmmakers brought in a Wiccan high priest and his wife, Alex and Maxine Sanders, as consultants. In her autobiography Firechild, Maxine Sanders claimed that Tate was fascinated by Wicca's neo-pagan rituals and became an adherent of sorts. So far so good for a movie about a woman unwittingly giving birth to the devil's child in order to jumpstart her husband's floundering acting career. Then the creepy coincidence began. First, the film composer Christoph Kameda fell off a cliff and went into a coma, dying shortly thereafter. Next, and not nearly as dramatic, the film's producer William Castle suffered a horrible attack of kidney stones, during which he is reported to have hallucinated and hollered for Rosemary to drop the knife. His career took a nosedive after that. Finally, Polanski really wanted Tate for the role of Rosemary, but Mia Farrow got that part instead, and Tate was murdered just a year after the movie was released, stabbed to death, no less, and heavily pregnant. Like maybe Manson was scared that she was giving birth to the Antichrist, just like in the movie. Because, you know, this was like one of the first really scary horror movies that was like really realistic in that time, 1968. And the cult of Satan was there also, so people were maybe thinking that Sharon Tate was a witch and giving birth to Satan. Anton LaVey, also known as ASL, the basic elements that comprise the Church of Satan may be gleaned from any of LaVey's work, most of which are still in print, such as the Satanic Bible and Satanic Rituals. These books, together with the Necronomicon, are often found at cult sites in the United States and have been rightly or wrongly featured on various radio and television talk shows on the dangers of modern-day Satanism. LaVey, however, is hardly your fiendish, blood-sucking, baby-killing Satanist. If nothing else, he has been far too public a person. A serious look at what he has written will illustrate the point that the Church of Satan is basically a hedonistic cult, a kind of playboy fantasy with horror soundtrack. That's not to say that some fairly strange activity did not take place at this church's headquarters in San Francisco. It is well known by now that Manson family member Susan Atkins was a member of the cult, and that actress Jane Mansfield performed the cult's ritual in her own home the year preceding her tragic death. It is also known that LaVey acted as technical consultant for Polanski film Rosemary's Baby, a story of modern-day Satanism in New York City, in which he also played the part of Satan. One can only stand back, slightly dizzy, as the coincidences pile up. For Polanski's wife was, of course, Sharon Tate, who was murdered by the Manson family, of which Susan Atkins, a Church of Satan member, was a prominent figure. Thus we have, for those interested in Zen semiotics, the wife of the director of the satanic film being killed by a minion of Satan, who was, however, briefly in the director's own employ. Further, the witch high priest Alexander claimed that Mrs. Tate had been initiated into his version of witchcraft while she was in England on location for another film. It is such tight, incestuous little knots in the warp and woof of the American experience that make it easy to see elements of an occult conspiracy taking place in the culture. In 1968, the San Francisco Theater did ask LaVey to make an appearance at the film's local opening as a promotional event. This appears to have been LaVey's only connection with the film that engendered the 1960s popular interest in Satanism. Another book came out in 2016 that says Sharon Tate was murdered by Charles Manson because she knew something about a satanic cult's role in Robert RFK assassination. Well, that's a new one for me. So one more thing I wanted to talk about was about the 3 different murders by the Manson gang. There was the second one was with the Sharon Tate, what we know of. Maybe they did many more other killings. We also had like this Zodiac serial killer running around. So the third one was the La Bianca killing. Lino Bianca got killed, and his wife Rosemary La Bianca. So that's very coincidence that her name was also Rosemary. Which also look like a normal couple, but if you dive into it, you will see that these people were also a bit strange. Lino Bianco, he had the habit to take $1,500 once or twice a week from the company where he was a partner. So this was like a loan. He was taking loans from the company. It was like in total about $43,000 between 1966 and 1969. They thought it was for gambling, but they couldn't find any traces of gambling, so he was doing some weird stuff for sure with this money. They know he were visiting some sort of woman, you know what I mean, and could be that he had connections to this satanic cult. Also, the murder was very horrific. It happened like one day after the Tate murders, and yeah, so a lot of things were going on there in Hollywood with this satanic club and these murders and a lot of conspiracies. I'll dive more deeper into this subject and let you know if I find out more what is going on. Thank you for watching. Leave your comments, let me know what you think, and see you next time.